You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
On this motherfucking plane! Now we got drinks? Oh, stay free. Come
It all sounds like some bad movie.
So
is it finally over?
It's finally over.
All over but the shouting.
Well, I'll tell you. Scott and I had a conversation. Oh, let me get my mic.
There
we go.
Oh, there he is.
Scott and I had a conversation the day of the Oscars. And we said, we're going to do a live show? And we're toying with the idea, and we're like, you know what? No. It's like, I got better shit to do. And you know what? The whole world thought the same way we did, because the ratings for this year's Oscars was under 10 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk.
Here in North America, I guess it was under 10 million. Now,
and there's been a lot of talk about the reasons for that, and I do agree with one of the reasons is that most people weren't familiar with most of the movies that were up because no one's going to the theater.
Right. Although you can see all of them streaming, but some of them you have to have a subscription besides Netflix.
Right.
Or Amazon or Hulu. It just, there's too many subscription services at this point, and they're just adding more, it seems, every single year. There's at least 3-4 more that are being added.
Mm-hmm. I know that when they announced the Oscar nominees, I had not seen any Best Picture nominees.
I had seen one,
all.
which was Sound of Metal. That's the only one that I had actually seen. So we decided not to do a live show. And let me tell you, this year's Oscars was especially bad. Not bad in the fact that while we would have been doing the show, it would have been like, oh, wow, did you see how bad? It was just a boring, poorly done Oscars. Scott and I would have just been bored out of our minds. Just, when's the next? Okay, this is what they're doing now? Oh, okay.
Everybody would have.
It's like, it's like, they're doing Best Picture before Best Actor and Actress? Oh, okay, that's smart.
I do want to say ha to you, though, because you were adamant that they were going to keep the live musical performances, and they did not.
Did I say that? Or was I hoping that they wouldn't? And I said they probably would keep them, and
It wasn't a declaration, but in conversation, you said that you seriously doubted that they would lose that.
I'm happy. Hey, listen, I'm happy. I was wrong. Let's put it that way. I'll gladly take the hit on that, because guess what? It worked. If anything worked, it was the fact that we didn't have to listen to 20-30 minutes of music, and the show still was over 3 hours.
I think it's interesting that in order to try to deal with the pandemic problems, with getting audiences together, they decided to try to do something non-traditional. And I think that once you took away all that traditional, the stand-up beginning, the presenters, everything, once you remove that, it really shows you what little substance there is to this thing as a whole.
Oh, yeah. And then let me tell you something. Next year's Oscars is going to, it's going to go overtime. That's a guarantee. But B, oh my God, you hit it. It's going to be fucking massive. It's going to
Cirque du Soleil.
It's twice. We're doing this shit twice. We're opening and ending the show with it.
We'd have Cirque du Soleil and Blue Man Group fight it out.
I would watch Blue
Out
Man
the
Group,
show.
though. I mean, Cirque du Soleil is fun, too. But if Blue Man Group went to the Oscars, that would be great.
But if they fought,
If they fought, yeah, dueling,
Cirque du Soleil would
sure.
obviously win. But
Yeah.
sadly.
Hey. But no, next year's Oscars is going to be stupid large.
Yeah.
It's
Can't wait.
just expect this to go way past midnight. Expect it to they're going to go all out. It's going to be ridiculous. Now, considering that most of the Oscar films come out in the fall and right before New Year's, all the way through the holidays, they realistically, because New York City has already said that they're opening up 100% on July 1st. New Jersey is probably going to do something similar. The whole country is going to open back up again.
Yep.
It just is.
So how many did you get right out of the entire batch?
So there's 23 categories, and I got 14. Yeah, I know, right? Because you know why there's 23? Because they got rid of one.
Right.
It was always 24. So instead of sound production and sound editing, it's just sound now.
23. They just didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
So you got.
I got
14.
14.
Okay, I got 8.
Mayor got 5. So, and here's the thing. I should have went with my gut, on some of these. Mm-hmm. Like, my gut was telling me that Mank was going to win Best Picture and Best Director. And having seen what actually won, it should have.
Well,
we can go through all of these.
Oh, we're going to.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that this year was especially hard because really all of the stuff that was nominated was quality work. There wasn't a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
This year.
Oh no.
So it was a lot harder in some categories where you're like, everybody really should get an award for that performance, but. So
I mean, I'm not thrilled about the film that actually did win. It was the one that I was hoping wouldn't out of all of them.
Let's. So where do you want to start?
So first of all, are we doing any of the technicals, or are we just going to just mention it? What one? Move on.
I got right. I'll mention ones I got right.
All right. So let's do them all.
Okay.
Let's
do the technical stuff first.
Okay. We'll do the technical stuff first.
All the be-real stuff. Yeah.
All right. So let's start off with something easy. Visual effects.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
Okay, Tenet.
Duh.
I mean, duh. What was nominated for it was Love and Monsters. Now, I saw the trailer. I even have the movie.
Don't care.
I mean, I guess it was good special effects.
The title alone makes me not want to see it. I'm getting that curmudgeon-y right now.
The Midnight Sky. Is that the one with George Clooney?
I forget.
Mulan.
Don't care.
The one and only Ivan. I mean,
not familiar with it.
What's crazy is normally we'd have like some superhero films in here. Mm-hmm. We'd have like Black Widow would be in here. We'd have probably maybe even Wonder Woman.
Well, and when it's not it's sci-fi fantasy is what usually ends up in best visual effects.
Right.
It's just because those are the genres that kind of max out the special effects budgets, if you were.
Sure. What was the other film that they pulled back? Crap, the movie that's you can't talk. Aliens get you.
Oh, A Quiet Place 2?
A Quiet Place 2. That was supposed to come out in March of 2020. Guaranteed that gets nominated for Best Special Effects.
Possibly. I mean,
listen, if it's over the Midnight Sky, Mulan, and the one and only Ivan, yeah, I think A Quiet Place 2 is in there.
Okay, so you got that one right.
I got that one correct. Right. Yeah.
Okay. What else did you get right in that area?
I got sound correct.
So did I. Sound of Metal.
Sound of Metal. Yeah, and that was a film called Greyhound, Mank, News of the World, Soul, and Sound of Metal. Now, the thing with Soul is there's music in it. Sound. But the thing with Sound of Metal, I think the reason why it ended up winning was because of how it used the sound in the film. Mm-hmm. Him definitely trying to hear things once he gets the implants, how he hears that. It just like actually immersed you into what he was going through, and I think that's why it won. So you got that one right too.
Yep.
All right. Production design. I got this one wrong.
Really? Because I told you who was going to win.
You did.
I remember having this discussion on the show, and I pointed out that it would make sense for Mank to win because Mank is doing production design that's emulating Hollywood production design. It's like this is just impossible not to win this category.
Right. So I picked Ma Rainey's Black Bottom because I felt that they were probably going to give that more Oscars than Mank, which was actually true. I just happened to get this one wrong.
Okay, so.
But no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong as far as the production design. I mean,
now Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, I would guess more to be for best makeup and hairstyling. Oh wait, it did win for that, and I chose that too.
well, I got that correct as well. So
see, there you're right. I mean that.
Yeah.
Period piece for makeup and hairstyling. Period piece always win. Production design, not so fast. That's not what you think.
Well, this is what normally when I do these, I usually get.
Just to clarify, production design isn't just set design.
Oh no, I know that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, here, this was a weird year for me. Normally, I'm getting upwards of 18 to 20 correct out of the 24. I always do.
Sir, it's been a weird year for all of us.
Yeah, it's
just
true.
follow the flag.
So. If anyone doesn't know, that's a Jim Cotta reference. You should refer to episode.
Yeah, that's nothing to do with Confederate flag or anything. No, that's Jim Cotta.
That's Jim Cotta.
I'm glad you said that because it didn't occur to me that follow the flag could actually be taken. Silly me! How can I think that just saying something as simple as follow the flag?
The climate that we're living in right
might
now.
not be controversial.
yeah, right.
Fuck it.
No, but see, that would have normally have just been like one of those. I had a 50-50 shot and I got it wrong. That would have been one of my 5 wrong or so, 6 wrong.
So I mean, in that, for what we discussed so far, best sound, production design, visual effects, hairstyling, and makeup, I got all those right.
So you're getting the technicals.
Yeah, I got all the technicals. I was
All right.
spot on. The only thing I didn't get was film editing because what the fuck.
Film editing.
In costume design, I guessed
All
Ma
right.
Rainey's Black Bottom as well. But
Well, yeah. Well, let's talk about editing. You said you got that wrong, right?
Oh no, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom did take it, but I second guessed myself and I chose Mulan for costume design.
I mean, it's not a bad choice. I mean, it's
I
ancient.
don't feel ashamed.
It's
I just-
Chinese
I mean,
dynasty. I mean, come on.
Chinese dynasties.
Stupid dynasties. So editing, I picked Sound of Metal, and what did you pick?
Trial of the Chicago 7.
See, we talked about that.
Yeah.
And my gut was to go with Trial of Chicago 7, but I was like, I bet they're going to give it the Sound of Metal because of how the sound and everything is edited, how it moves. To be honest, Trial of Chicago 7 is a better edited film. You need a movie like that to flow properly. You need a film to be edited properly. And it was. Not that I'm saying Sound of Metal wasn't. I'm just saying Trial of Chicago 7 should have won that category. You need movies like that to, you need the pacing to be correct, or else it's a courtroom drama. You can't get that wrong. Sound of Metal, yeah, if your editing's a little off, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I don't have good luck with that category at all.
All right, moving on. Costume design.
I just mentioned that. Yeah.
Well, I want to make sure that, I don't want to hop around. I want to actually announce the category. And then, come on, we're almost done.
Yes, sir.
We're a third of the way. Costume design went to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I got that correct. What did you?
I chose Mulan.
Mulan. Okay, that's done.
I want to just say right out front.
Yeah.
All the short features and the documentary categories.
Yeah.
And the short, all those 4 sections got them all wrong. Not even close.
Is that with technicals? No. Yeah. Is the original score considered a technical? I guess it is.
But it's in the top ones, the ones that I count.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it with technicals. Let's do the documentary short. I got that wrong. I picked Do Not Split. I just thought it was... whenever I pick these, I always pick the title that I like.
Yeah, I went with Colette. No, I went with Hunger Ward, and Colette was the winner.
Yeah, Colette was the winner. I was like, these are the ones that, like, this is how when I do these, I'll get 18 to 20 correct, and the ones that I get wrong most of the time are these documentary, live action, animated
It's a wild
shorts.
card.
Yeah.
There's no. How am I going to track down? Now, I actually did track down, like in the best documentary feature. I tracked down 4 of the 5.
Okay.
I didn't watch any of them, so
Yeah.
it just goes to show you. But like the short film stuff, good luck finding copies of those to watch.
No. So every once in a while, you'll find that they're on YouTube because the
Occasionally,
company
sometimes.
that made them wants them to be seen, so they'll put them on YouTube.
But,
So,
yeah,
live action short. I picked Two Distant Strangers, and it went to the Letter Room. No, I'm sorry. I picked the Letter Room.
Letter Room.
And it went to Two Distant Strangers.
I did the exact same thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
I picked with my heart on those because I got nothing else to go by. Animated short.
If I'd known that Two Distant Strangers was about a cop shooting a black guy, I would have chosen it.
Well, yeah.
But
I mean,
didn't
we say
even-
that
I
every
didn't even
year.
Research it. So I
Every
just went
single
by the
year.
name.
Every single year we say that.
Yeah.
We
no,
say-
if I had researched them, I would have chosen
Yeah,
it.
every single year we're like, if I knew it was about this, I would have picked that because
It's like any category when there's a Holocaust themed film. Pick it.
That's
gonna win.
That's the
Bam.
one. That's the one.
It's not. I'm not crying bias. I'm not. I'm just saying that's a fact.
Yeah. No, you're
Prove
not
me
wrong.
wrong.
You're not wrong. Animated short. The winner was If Anything Happens, I Love You, and that's the one I picked. So I actually got that
Oh.
one correct.
I picked Genius Loci because I thought I was a genius. You know what? By looking at what won here,
Uh-huh.
I think next year for all these 4 categories, I'm just going to pick the longest title.
Yeah,
Just
right?
3 out of 4 are the longest title that won, so I'm just going to go with that.
Well, that throws my keep the title short theory right out of the water. It's like the reason they keep them short is because people have low attention spans and they're easier to remember. Bank Heist, the movie. It's like, really? We're calling this Bank Heist? That's, yeah, because we don't want to confuse anyone about what's happening in the plot.
You know, when we do Best Picture, circle back to that. I want to take a look at the titles this year, see if we have any complaints. We didn't talk about that at all.
Okay, all right.
What's the next category?
Next category, let's go with documentary feature since we went with documentary short and live action.
Mm-hmm.
I picked My Octopus Teacher, which ended up winning. I just thought it was like a really interesting title.
I had this on. I had this available to watch and just
Didn't
could
bother.
not bring myself to watch it.
No.
And when I was picking, I picked The Collective
Oh.
because it had to do with like burn victims and stuff. I was like, this is interesting. I still didn't get a chance to watch it.
Right.
But I thought the octopus thing was the dumbest thing I heard out of all of those. So of course that won.
Yeah. All right, let's go with.
I mean, just think. Well, here's one about burn victims that were exploited by the system, and then here's one about handicapped people doing their, going to camp and learning to be self-sustaining and all this, and about their growth. And here's one about a woman dealing with a husband who's in jail and the time that goes as he's serving his time. Oh, and there's one with a guy that swims with an octopus. Which one do you think's going to win the Oscar? I don't think I chose wrong.
Well, I picked it based on title. That's how I do that stuff.
Even with that should not be the wrong answer.
Well,
Sorry.
but it was. Original score. I picked Soul, and that's what won. I think I told you Soul was going to sweep all of its categories.
Yeah, I picked I picked Mank.
Mank.
I thought it was going to ride that with the whole Hollywood thing too.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross were nominated for both Mank and Soul. So they won anyway.
So I'm half right. I'll take a half star for that.
No.
Oh,
Sorry.
what do you got next?
Let's go with original song. Now, again, I could give a shit about original song, and there was no Pixar song in here. So,
Good.
which was interesting to me because Soul is all about music and there's no song. Because Pixar always wins. Disney always wins best song. Always.
I'll say right now, I wish the Eurovision Song Contest song won.
Yeah, Mayor was very happy that was nominated. I go, wow, it must have been a bad year.
I haven't seen that movie.
Mayor watched it. It was one of those, hey, we're in a pandemic and you can get to watch this. Well, or that might have came out just before the pandemic.
It's one of those Will Ferrell films when you go, I can wait.
Yeah. But I picked, what did I pick? Speak Now, One Night in Miami. And what won was Fight for You, Judas and the Black Messiah.
Right, and I picked Hear My Voice from the Trial of the Chicago 7 because I was convinced it was going to be between the two of those.
Okay, and
so by my reasoning, I get a half a point for this because I was half right too. So I've got 9 right now.
Wow, 9. Okay,
over to 8. I'm catching up.
There's a lot of asterisks on your page.
I'll see how many more I can find. Keep going.
All right, there, Trump.
Wow.
Hey, we want to talk about finding votes.
Whatever brought that on, I apologize.
Cinematography. I chose Mank. I thought that was a clear cut because of the conversation that we had. The reason, I should have picked production design and I didn't, but I knew cinematography. I'm like, the movie is just too grand. It's just too grandiose. It just, And
again, you knew it was going to be the Hollywood backstroke. So
yeah. Did you pick Mank?
Back pat, stroke off, whatever you want to call it. I picked Mank as well. Yes, it's a category I got right.
Animated feature. This is a category that Scott did not want anything to do with. Soul is what I picked, and Soul is what won.
Soul is what I picked, and Soul is what won, and Soul is what I lost when I picked Soul.
I was just going to say, you lost a bit of your soul on that one.
I don't want to talk about it.
But yeah, the movie's nominated. Again,
by the way, that
slow year.
Category,
yeah.
Just backtrack 1 sec. Best animated feature film. Didn't watch any of them.
Oh, really?
I had all of them but one. I didn't have Over the Moon, but I had all the other ones. Just couldn't be.
I've
seen
Soul.
I ran out of steam, and these are films I wouldn't go out of my way at this point in my life to see anyway. So
Right.
it's just harder.
I've seen Soul, and I've seen Wolfwalkers. I did not see the other 3.
My older daughter actually asked me to get a copy of her for 6 months ago, and I couldn't. And then so I was happy to tell her that it was nominated for an Oscar.
I can get that to you if you really want it.
No, I have it now.
Oh, you have it now?
Yeah, once it was up for Oscars, I went and was like, oh, there it is.
Oh.
But at the time I looked for it, I couldn't find it.
Gotcha. All right, international feature. We talked about this.
Yeah.
I picked Another Round because the director was nominated for best director, and I was like, the film's got to have a little something extra if it's in the best director category and it's not nominated for best picture. So I was like, they're probably going to just give it international because of that.
Very good thinking on that part.
Did you get that one right or wrong?
My head was.
What'd you pick?
I picked Collective. I thought it was. I don't know why. I was like, oh, Collective will sweep. It'll get documentary and international. Again, reminder, haven't seen it. And what bothers me the most about this is that when they announced the Oscars, this was one of the few films that not only was I interested in seeing, but I already owned.
Oh, really?
I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. But because of all the other Oscar films, I never got around to it.
Got it.
And the one category it won, I didn't guess. So I'm annoyed.
So now we're in the majors, which is screenplays, actor, actress, best picture, director. We're in those. So where do you want to go with those?
All right, let's do screenplay, original adapted. You know this is my category, right?
This is your category. Which one do you want to start with?
Doesn't matter because I fucked them both.
Wow. Okay, let's go with adapted screenplay. Now, I picked The Father, and that's what won. When we reviewed it 2 weeks ago, we talked about how it was a stage play and how the movie, kind of moved like that too. And I just I knew Borat. You just throw that right out there. That happy to be nominated. So what you got left is The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. Throw out One Night in Miami and The White Tiger. Just throw them out.
Why?
Why?
All right. Here's a question for you. Before you go any further in your little tirade here,
Uh-huh.
how many of these films did you actually see?
Borat, The Father, Nomadland.
Okay. I also saw One Night in Miami.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten around to see that one.
Okay, I did.
I just knew it
Don't
wasn't.
Just throw it out. Don't throw it out. I saw it. Don't throw it out.
Okay.
It was good. It was good. I'm not.
My
crazy,
gut.
I'm not-
My gut was that it didn't stand a chance.
Right. So.
And I don't even know what The White Tiger is. You know.
It's a crime thing.
Okay. And they must have been thrilled to be nominated then. So, but
yeah,
no,
I watched the trailer to The White Tiger. I was gonna watch the film, but I couldn't bring up the interest.
I
It's just
knew-
that typical kind of, a young child grows up and works his way up in the crime scene, but it's like a different country, and that's all.
In my gut, I knew it was between The Father and Nomadland, and I just thought The Father.
No, it was. No man land. Don't even.
No. I'm not saying that it deserved it. I'm saying those are the two that it was. Those were the final two. I'm telling you.
Here's my prop. Here's what. But again, Borat, we both agreed.
Oh yeah.
White Tiger, we both agreed.
Right.
Doesn't even count. I saw One Night in Miami. I thought it was a very.
So I'm guessing this is what you picked.
Yeah. And my rationale was Nomadland. I didn't think was an exceptional screenplay.
No.
It was flat out. And The Father, I thought it owed more to direction and acting than it did screenplay. So that's why I did not consider it.
Yeah. No, I was.
I'm very upset.
I kind of just knew it was going to win. I don't know why, but I just kind of did. All right, let's go with original screenplay. I got this one wrong.
Me too.
Yeah. So I picked Judas and the Black Messiah. And I just thought the subject matter was going to carry that one. You know? I did.
Now, I'm gonna ask the same question again, but I think the answer is yes. Did you see all of the films in original screenplay category?
Yeah, because they're all best pictures.
Right. That's why I figured you say yes.
Yeah.
So we're both in the same boat on that.
Yes. I felt that, to be completely honest, I really wanted Promising Young Woman. I did. Or,
me too.
Or maybe even The Trial of Chicago 7. I thought those were kind of like, those were the neck and necks. I didn't think Judas was going to win. I didn't, but I picked it because I figured the subject matter on it's an important subject, and I just figured it was going to take that one, and it didn't.
I'll flat out, from a screenplay standpoint, I thought the two films that were above and beyond were both Promising Young Woman and Judas and the Black Messiah. And I second-guessed myself on Promising Young Woman because I was afraid that the Academy would find it a bit too, peppy or art house, which is stupid because Juno won, and Juno was peppy as shit.
Yeah.
And this was kind of like this year's Juno, in my mind, and by no other standard, but in my mind, this was this year's Juno, and I was all about it. And last minute, I was like, but Judas and the Black Messiah was fucking tight, and I went with that.
Yeah.
So we both guessed the right.
We both guessed the same one, and we both got it wrong.
Yeah.
All right. So now, let's go with actress in a supporting role. Now, this is an interesting category.
Yes.
This is an interesting category because I've been saying the entire time, Amanda Seyfried, Amanda Seyfried. You know, like I was just like, she's probably going to win. She's probably going to win. I enjoyed her performance more than anybody else's, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But my gut was like, but the grandmother from Minari, and I'm like, I don't know. There's just, Hollywood's on this Korean kick lately. And I'm like, her performance was good. And
was that the grandmother from Minari?
Yeah, that's the grandma.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because who's gonna nominate the bitch from that movie? I still hate her. I'm sorry.
She did get nominated. She
was everything wrong with that family. I'm sorry.
You know that,
Moving
right?
on.
Wait, wasn't she nominated? Oh, she wasn't.
Was she?
No,
No,
she
no.
wasn't. So I was like, I changed my mind at the last second. I was going to put Amanda Seyfried, but I changed it at the last second. And I got it right because they picked her.
Wait,
Which
wait,
I-
wait, wait.
What?
So at the last minute, you switched it from what?
I switched it from Amanda Seyfried, and I changed my mind, and I picked Yoon Jung Yoon.
Okay, you jumped back and forth, so it was a little sketchy.
Sketchy.
I did the exact opposite.
Okay, what did you do?
I went with Mank.
You went with Amanda Seyfried. You just stuck with it.
I thought Minari was also a runner-up too.
Yeah.
But I really thought Mank was going to win it.
I
So-
really did too, but at the
Yeah.
last second, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pick her.
All right.
So I had a feeling, and I was right. Actor in a supporting role.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Daniel Kaluuya, and that's what won,
Same here.
or that's who won. Because I really wanted to pick Lakeith Stanfield. I really did,
It was
because
gonna
I
be
thought
one of the
his
two.
performance. I thought his performance was as good, if not possibly better.
It was going to be one of the two. I mean, there was no. I saw all
Yeah.
5 films. I think we both did. Yeah, this is another one where we both saw all 5. No, you didn't see One
I,
Night in Miami.
I didn't see Night in Miami. That's One
That-
Night in Miami. That's the only one I didn't see.
Right. So
But
with
we
that,
talked about
yeah,
it, and I think you mentioned that Odom Jr. His performance was okay.
To me, he was the least intriguing actor
Right.
in that film. I just if you asked me to rate them by powerful and how I was engaged and everything,
Right.
he would be at the bottom.
Now, to briefly
Steve.
mention, it's the company, the production company that makes the film, whoever it is.
Yeah.
They're the ones that submit what they want their, best actor,
Mm-hmm.
actress, any of their categories for. So they purposely put both Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield in the supporting actor category because, politics aside, they felt that they had a better chance of winning one of those two categories with those two actors in the same category. And it worked because Daniel Kaluuya probably should have been in the best actor category.
Mm-hmm.
And the same goes for Lakeith Stanfield. Both of them could have been put in the best actor category.
And this happens every few years. This isn't rare to this film. I mean, you get these films where, just like the supporting actors, just like like the debate over what's a supporting actor, just
Right.
and actress too. It's happened in both categories.
So- So I picked Daniel Kaluuya, and he won. Who did you pick? I mean, I'm sure it was one of those two.
Which on best supporting actor?
Best supporting actor.
Yeah, I picked that. I won.
Oh, you did. You got that
Yep.
one. Best actress in a leading role. I completely got this one wrong. We
Yeah.
had talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
I
disagree
thought
with it.
I disagree with it too. I think I don't know
For
why
me-
they went with
for me-
Frances McDormand.
I love Frances McDormand. However,
Listen, we're Coen brother. We've been doing Coen Brothers for 35 years, longer.
Mm-hmm.
All the way back to Blood Simple. That's
almost as long
probably
as they've been doing it.
the first thing I think I've ever seen was probably Raising Arizona.
Yeah,
That's probably the first thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But then once I got a taste of the Coen brothers, I sought out their other stuff, and Blood Simple was one of those films. I actually took my sister to go see that when the Coen brothers re-edited it. They did like a director's cut.
Yeah,
And we had to go to the Claridge Theater in Montclair to go see it. They had actually cut the film down to like 90 minutes from like an hour and 45 or something
yeah,
like that.
because they're contrary like that.
Yeah.
Bastards.
So, it made it a much tighter film. I have both anyway, but
Same here.
yeah. But anyway, so Frances McDormand won. I picked Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman. We had that conversation, and I haven't seen the film, but I'm like, you know what? Someone that goes through that much pain for 30 minutes on screen has to be recognized, right? No. It's like, oh, you live in your van and you drive around? Here you go. Here's a statue.
I just want to underline that I love Frances McDormand.
Oh, same here.
She's amazing. However, giving her an Oscar for this film is saying that she was phenomenal at pretending to be an average person.
Yeah.
Which most people, including a lot of her co-stars, don't have to pretend.
Right.
So what the fuck is that about?
No, they were enamored with this film Nomadland, and I don't understand why.
I told you, like I said, I was interested in seeing the film. I like the concept and everything, but just the way it's handled, that blurring of reality and that. This isn't a film. This is like play pretend, but it's just on a different. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth the more I think about it.
It was shot like a docudrama, and some of the scenes were improvised, and especially like when she's learning to change a tire. I'm like, you're giving a best actress Oscar for an improvised changing of a tire scene, because that scene we talked about it. And again, I don't know this as fact, but I'm a pretty good judge of character and how things go. That scene was completely, I'm learning how to change a tire. What you're seeing on screen is just my natural reaction to it. It wasn't quote unquote acting, you know?
I mean, you can get the semantics at that point, but
well, I don't think an Oscar is deserved for something like that. Anybody could have been put in the scene and reacted almost the same way, potentially.
I don't think an Oscar is deserved for a performance that's basically, okay, be a real person and pretend that this is a real thing.
Right.
But
agreed.
But I mean, like a real person, though, not pretend to be a character, but a person. There's a difference between a character and a person.
Right. This
is about people, and they have real people in this film. And now, so she, just for being a real person for a change, she gets an Oscar. I don't think there's enough skill involved in that. Oh, gee, I learned how to live in a van for 6 months. You know, also has to do that, like a fifth of the population at some point in their time.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're getting me angry now.
Why am I getting you angry? I didn't vote for it.
The film. For a film that I honestly went into really wanting to connect with it, and I did connect with the film for a short while.
Right.
But the more you just start rolling it in your head, like, this is just not right. I don't like it.
No.
No, sir, I don't like it.
No, sir, I don't like it. Actor in a leading role. So this was another film that the Oscars went ahead and they changed the order of how they were going to give the last 4 Oscars. Mm-hmm. They actually announced Best Picture before Best Actress and Best Actor. They were ending on Best Actor because even themselves, they thought that Chadwick Boseman was going to win Best Actor posthumously, and they wanted to end the show on that because it was going to be this, like grand finale to a really bad year, and the Oscars really kind of a bad year for movies as far as like theaters not being open, not being bad movies, and they were completely fucking wrong. So was I, because I picked Chadwick Boseman myself. And who won? Anthony Hopkins, which, by the way, is deserved. Anthony Hopkins absolutely should have won this Oscar. He is that fucking good in The Father. Chadwick Boseman, it's the only film that I had not seen. It doesn't mean that his performance wasn't excellent. I can just guarantee you it isn't better than Anthony Hopkins. I can guarantee it. But they were hoping that he would have won, but he didn't. So who did you pick?
Who do you think I picked?
Chadwick Boseman?
Anthony Hopkins, man.
You did. You got that one right. Good for you.
I saw Chadwick Boseman and Ma Rainey's. Was like, all right. I saw Anthony Hopkins. I was like, if you want to say that's a white thing, go ahead. I don't give a shit.
Well, it's interesting.
I do think it's kind of funny though that the Oscars, that like they accidentally set this whole thing up with we're giving women are getting awards, minorities are getting awards, we're diverse, and we're gonna end it on a high note with old white guy, bam.
Who didn't show up, by the way. You know why? Because he's 82 years old, And they weren't wearing masks inside because they were doing, people are vaccinated, multiple tests.
That's not why.
Social distancing. Oh, why didn't he show up then?
Because he didn't want to go to one of the 2 Oscar satellite locations. He wanted to be there via Zoom. And the Oscars was like, oh, we're too high class for that shit. No.
Really?
Yeah, it was because he wanted to zoom in, and they were like, no, not doing it. You got to be at one of these little satellite things. That's it. You have to go out.
Huh.
Again, there's your liberal concern for the masses.
Oh my God. They
Yeah,
wouldn't let him
like-
zoom in. So I'm assuming was he home in London or was he in LA?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in London.
And
There were 2 locations where they were doing like small groups for the Oscars for attendees and stuff, and they wanted him to go to one of them, and he was like, "No, I'm old, and and people are sick. I'm staying here." And they're like, "Well, fuck you then."
Well, and you know what?
So,
They got.
you know what?
They deserved what they got then.
It's just another example. You want to make it a left-wing thing. They can spin their wheels left as long as they want. It's just about rich people patting each other on the back,
Right.
and that's all it comes down to at the end of the day.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Black, white, yellow.
I
green,
saw it as a
whatever.
complete and utter missed opportunity that Anthony Hopkins was not wearing a Hannibal Lecter mask. I mean, whether it had been like the real one, or if it would have been a cloth one, just kind of like a replica of it. Missed opportunity, total missed opportunity. How good would that have been if he would have been on Zoom, or if he went to the satellite location and he's wearing a mask? That would have been just perfect.
There's one film during this Oscar cycle that I watched that I had a great alternate ending for, and I've forgotten it for the life of me. But there's one where it's like, wouldn't it be funny if it ended this way? And it was great. I forgot it, so I shouldn't bring it up. What's next?
All right, best director.
Oh.
I picked David Fincher for Mank because I really thought Mank was going to win Best Picture and Director. I did.
Well, see, and I, on the other hand, was the opinion that it wouldn't get either, and I was right on that part.
You were.
Um,
I do think it was in the running, though, as far as voting goes. I really do.
mhm.
Chloe Zhao won Best Director for Nomadland, which I thought the directing in that film was mediocre.
Yeah, not impressed.
I thought that she rode on the coattails of the film being so popular.
You know,
I do. I really do, because, like I said, some of it's improvised. I wasn't a fan of some of the directing style. I just, some of the panning shots were underwhelming. I didn't love the directing for this film at all.
There's a part of me that really feels like Nomadland has the same problem that Forrest Gump did.
Which
Like
is
it got a lot of awards because it was assumed that there was this message involved, but what no one realized was that the message is
Right.
tainted. It's not a real message. You're just buying into the sheen
Yeah.
of the
and
proposed
it's
heat.
interesting you mentioned Forrest Gump, because I wrote an article a few years ago, a long time ago, about films that won Best Picture that shouldn't have, and Forrest Gump was on that list. The year that Forrest Gump won, people were enamored with that fucking film, and if you look back, the film as a whole, it's a good film, but like the special effects, it was back when Terminator 2 had come out, and they were just starting with like the real CGI computer generated
It's
special
Magnolia
effects
all over it. It's Magnolia all over again.
But it just like they started using it in commercials where dogs and animals' eyes get real big and they talk, and it was just really stupid. Forrest Gump was the kind of beginnings of that. So it's like they interjected him into scenes like, oh, here he is with John F. Kennedy. Oh, I had 13 Dr. Peppers.
It's not about that.
I'm going somewhere with this. Hold on.
Get there.
People were I'm getting there. See, when you interrupt me, it takes longer to get there.
What?
I missed the exit. See, now we got to go all the way around.
Look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament.
I just can't get over. No, so people were enamored with Forrest Gump. They were, and it made a ton of money. Special effects in that film were kind of new. People, it's kind of like the Avatar effect. Oh my God, did you see Avatar? It's absolutely amazing. Shit like that. So,
But that's not why it was so
Why was it so popular then?
Because the assumed idea that it had this message, and everybody's in agreement that this film has a message, and the film has no real message. It thinks it does.
Well, anyway, where I'm going with the whole thing is that I had written an article about films that won Best Picture that shouldn't have, and Forrest Gump was on that list because that year Pulp Fiction should have won Best Picture, hands down.
Yeah.
No, just hands down. I mean, there's just no question about it. Pulp Fiction was the best film that year. Forrest Gump. Yeah, you can mention it, but
right.
That's it.
So we chase this kind of idealism that like this movie's important because it's about something, and it's not. And Nomadland, it got me for a couple of days too. But again, I don't just like watch the film once and abandon it. You keep thinking about it.
Right.
And Nomadland puts on the same veneer that this is about something. This is important, and it's not. It's just playing make believe for an Oscar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
all right. So the final category.
Hold on. I didn't tell you who I chose for Best
Director.
Director.
What did you pick for Best Director?
Sure.
I thought you threw that in there at some point.
No, I was waiting for you to finish your story about Pulp Fiction.
Well, you kept interrupting me. That's why that's why I got sidetracked. Who did you pick, Mr. Wilson?
I picked Promising Young Woman. There's another female director. I figured
it's not a bad choice.
I figured that's where it would have, if it was going to get anywhere. I figured that's where
right.
it would be recognized.
And after she won screenplay, it probably felt like it was a good choice too.
I thought it was an easy in for one of them, so I just picked the wrong one.
So yep, all right. Then for the final category, Best Picture, which we're doing it last because it should be last, but the Academy decided that they were going to do that third. I picked Mank and was wrong, and Nomadland is the film that won. So who did you pick?
I picked Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't. You should have consulted me on that one.
Why? It's a very good film.
It is a very good film, but I just knew it wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I just knew. Now, as far as everything else, Promising Young Woman, just in the back of my head. Promising Young Woman, even though I knew Judas, I knew it was a better film than Nomadland. Nomadland was nowhere on my radar, in my gut, that it deserved Best Picture. Nowhere. As far as all of these movies, it was the film I enjoyed the least. I thought it was boring as hell. I can accept that it's a well-made movie, even though I don't agree.
They all are.
They all are. I just thought Nomadland was boring, and I really didn't think it was going to win Best Picture. I really didn't. I thought it was just one of those little indie films that was getting recognized, and that was it.
Yeah. Speechless. I just the film disgusts me the more I think about it.
Yeah.
Really not happy with the film.
So you wanted to talk about film titles before we go and end the show.
One of my big things is always been talking like that stupid titles and pandering titles, like you mentioned, Tower Heist, Bank Heist, whatever.
Yeah.
So like if going down the list, because I never really thought about it while we were doing the whole thing. I was just focused on the films. Right. The Father, horrible name.
It is a bad name.
Horrible name.
Doesn't really tell you much other than that somebody's a dad.
It doesn't have to tell you something, but it's too bland. It's just the father. Okay,
father.
What about the father? It's the father. Everyone's got a father. It's not the father.
But, yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just don't like it.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Excellent title.
It is an excellent title. I mean, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but Judas betrayed Jesus. And
is that where that came from?
Yeah.
Just checking.
Okay, good. And Daniel Kaluuya, or Fred Hampton, back then, was being considered, the Black Messiah. So it's a take on that, and it's an excellent title. It really works. Anyone that thinks otherwise just isn't really thinking about it. Mank. What do you think?
Good title.
Because that was his nickname. in Hollywood.
Right.
Was
and
Mank.
the nickname just defines the character, and the character defines the title. Bam,
Yeah.
we come full circle. That's all you need.
And there are other movies that have been made where he's mentioned as Mank in other films. There's a TV movie with oh shit, I don't remember who it is, but there was a TV film that came out. I might actually have it on my computer. But he's mentioned as Mank in that movie too. And that movie was made like 30 years ago.
I never have a problem with a film that's named after the title character, because it's pretty much telling you this is who the film is about. The story. I like that. I prefer that over some other cliche titles.
Right.
You know? And they're intriguing, like Michael Clayton. Just the fact that it's just called Michael Clayton, I'm interested now. Then I see the trailer and see who's in it. It's like, now I'm very interested. But
Michael Clayton was a good film, like a really
Excellent
good
film.
film.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's pronounced Minari, not Minari. I think the
really?
Korean pronunciation is like Minari or Minari, or it's not Minari. But I just keep saying it because I don't know. I don't speak Korean. Minari. What do you think of that title?
Technically, it's a good title, but having seen the film, I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean it's based on the plant that, or the seeds that they plant, which grows into the Minari, which is a Korean, I don't know,
weed.
herb or weed or
It's a
something.
weed.
So it plays a part in the film because at one point in the film, when everything is at its worst, the plant actually thrives in the place that they plant it, and it shows that there is hope and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Nomad.
Nomad.
Also about laying roots. I mean, you can go all over the place with that.
Nomadland.
But,
Now, it's based on the book
by the same-
Nomadland, something, living in the whatever 20th century, 21st century. I forget what the long time. They just shortened it.
Yeah, I have no problem with the title. It's average. It's average, let me say.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah,
Yeah. Promising Young Woman.
an excellent title.
Yeah, considering everything that she goes through, what her friend goes through, and what she's trying to achieve in the film, and what she was trying to achieve before everything went to shit. Very good title.
Yep.
Sound of Metal.
Fucking dumb. Dumb.
Considering that the opening of the film is the only heavy metal that you hear in the whole movie,
Well,
I mean, I get why it's called that, because he's a heavy metal drummer
It's
who
too-
loses his hearing.
it's supposed to be layered, but it's not, because if you take away the meaning of what it's supposed to be, it's like, what's the sound of metal? Well, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right, and maybe it's supposed to be like a Zen riddle. No, not buying it. No, the film should have been called what?
The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Horrible title.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a TV movie title.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, the film feels like a made-for-TV movie in some ways because of the format.
Right.
Not in a negative way. Just that it just has that kind of feel to it, and the title does not help.
No, it's a terrible title. So we can agree that
You know what I would have called it?
yeah.
I would have called it "Where's Borat?"
So we both agree that Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, and Promising Young Woman are excellent.
Titles.
The Father, Sound of Metal, and Trial of the Chicago 7 are terrible titles.
Terrible.
And Minari and Nomadland are okay.
They're titles that I like less after having seen the film,
Got it.
which is
So that's your 2021 Academy Awards, Oscar winners and losers.
all right. After the Oscars, did you remove any films from your library?
No, I went to bed.
No, I don't mean right after. I mean like since between then and now.
No, and not because I'm gonna remove this shit because it was more or less like I got work in the morning and I have a really long next 3 days and
All right, well,
it's not something I got around to.
One of us is more dedicated. I get it because
Okay,
I immediately cleaned house, and I can tell you right now, out of the Best Picture category, Minari, Nomadland, and Trial, gone.
Gone.
Not in my library. Don't need them there. Don't want them. No, wait. Trial I kept.
No, Trial you kept. That's a good
No, Trial I
film.
kept. Sound of Metal, Nomadland. I think Minari. That's the one. I'm never going to watch it again.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Mank, I almost did, but it was like, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and Hillbilly Elegy, gone.
Gone.
I kept Borat, the second one,
Sure.
because it's political, and I think that's the only reason I liked it is because the political humor in it, or the political expediency or urgency of the film,
Right.
allowed me to ignore some of the more juvenile humor. And have you seen that Netflix? They're doing like deleted scenes from the film. They're gonna have like a special.
Oh, I did see that they're doing that. Like, there's
see
the
the
one
trailer
shot.
for it?
There's one shot of the crowd that he's at, where he's all dressed up and he's doing the song,
Right.
and he's in the van. He goes, "If you slow down."
That's an ambulance.
Oh, that's an ambulance.
Yeah, he's in an ambulance driving, and he's like, "Drive, or there's going to be violence."
Yeah, keep driving. Don't stop, or there's
Yes.
going to be violence.
Yeah, the fact that Sasha drops character in that scene, it's like, oh shit.
That shit was going down.
So like stuff like that's why I kept that. But I mean, also I'm pretty sure I got rid of One Night in Miami as well.
Yeah, I don't really do a clean house. I also don't have as many movies as you,
Yeah, see, I had to clean house.
so I don't have to do that because
Okay,
I still have terabytes upon terabytes that are, I have a lot of hard drive space.
I'm almost maxed out. I got to clean a little house or get a bigger hard
We'll
drive.
talk about that after the show.
We'll talk about that. Real quick, I want to talk about the Razzies.
The Razzies.
Just want to say that I'm keeping 365 Days
Okay.
just because it's a really, really, really bad film.
Okay.
Only reason it's still I'm keeping it. And Fantasy Island I already had. I thought it was fun. I didn't care.
We watched that, and about halfway through, if anyone remembers in previous episodes, Scott and I, we did, just a refresher, we did that Plex together. It was called that at that time. Now you can just actually go into Plex and you can watch. So we're watching it, and I'm like, this seems kind of tame for like a horror movie. And Scott just goes to me, he goes, well, it's PG-13. I'm like, what? I had no idea. I didn't even look it up, and so we just stopped watching it. We just watched something else. Future Kill, I think we ended up watching.
Future Kill, yeah, which I think we should have finished Fantasy Island. But anyway. But so worst picture, worst actor were both Mike Lindell and Absolute Proof. My Pillow Guy's conspiracy film.
Yes.
Worst actress went to Kate Hudson in music.
Okay.
Worst supporting actress went to Maddie Ziegler in music. So we didn't get. I was hoping Glenn Close would win Razzie and an Oscar, but didn't happen.
No.
And honestly, after having seen Hillbilly Elegy, I don't know why it's up for worst supporting actress. Someone just doesn't like old people, apparently.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not from Appalachia, but New York State is close enough, and that was a perfect representation. And then worst supporting actor and worst screen combo both went to Rudy Giuliani.
Nice.
Worst director was Sia for music, which I never even bothered.
I didn't even know that movie existed until the Razzies.
Yeah, and from what little I saw, it was universally panned as just being shite.
Yeah, and it's called Music, which goes on what I was saying before. Keep the title short because everyone's. What's this movie about? Music.
Yeah. Well,
That's great. Stupid.
Worst screenplay
Stupid.
was 365 Days.
Worst what?
Screenplay.
Adapted? Original?
Just they don't have it adapt. They don't split it up. It's just worst screenplay.
Because it's a documentary.
No, 365 Days.
Oh, that's the point. Okay, that's the one with
That's the Polish remake of
Yeah. Okay,
Shades of Grey.
got it.
No. Mike Lindell did not win for worst screenplay. And the worst remake, ripoff, or sequel was Doolittle.
They needed a high production film in there somewhere.
Which when Doolittle came out in January,
Yeah.
that first thing I predicted was that's going to win.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, first of all, the trailer came out and it was this like huge grand trailer coming this January. I'm like, ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Whenever Scott and I are in a movie theater, which we haven't done in a long time, but for obvious reasons. But when we would go, our favorite part before the film starts is always the trailers, because there's always a few January films, depending on the time of year you're going to see said film. If you're seeing said film like in the fall, during Oscar push, like when we went to go see Saw, you're going to get a lot of coming this January. You get a lot of those because it's only 3 months away.
Which the new Saw film's coming out in May.
Yes, that's the one with Chris Rock, right?
Yeah, and I'm hoping to try to see it in the theater down here.
And it's a prequel? That's a prequel, right?
No.
It's okay.
As far as I know, it is not. But I have
Okay.
not seen the film or read anything about it, and I don't want to know.
I don't want to know anything.
The trailer doesn't give anything away, I don't think, and that's as far as I'm going. But yeah, it comes out in May.
Yeah, I want to go into it cold, to be completely honest.
Yeah, same here.
If you don't see it in a theater and you want to watch that together through Plex, we can make that happen.
Or even if I do,
watch it again.
As soon as it's available on Plex, we'll watch it together. I'm up for that.
All right. That sounds good.
The one thing I do want to say about the Razzies is I'm very, very, very happy that they nominated Hubie Halloween as a worst remake, ripoff, or sequel, because they call it a remake / ripoff of Ernest Scared Stupid. And I appreciate that so much that I'm not the only one that saw that. The minute I saw that fucking trailer, it's all I could think of. This is just Adam trying to do Ernest.
I bet you didn't think I could get fresh Miak this time of year.
No, I'm telling you, hands down, best part of the whole film. If this curse goes through, it'll kill all the children and everything, and we have to stop it. But this is kids, right?
Yeah.
That's. I love Ernest.
Yeah, it's a shame. Jim Varney is no longer with us.
But Oscars are over. That's what really counts. That's what
yes. Matters. And moving on, our country for the most part is being vaccinated, and hopefully we can kind of get back to some normalcy.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That would.
Yeah. I don't know what the weather was in Texas the last couple of days, but yesterday was almost 95 degrees in New Jersey. And today was only like 70, but it was humid and muggy. It's disgusting. Still is.
Been around, I don't want to talk about the weather on the show, but it's been around the 80s and it's been raining the past couple days. And
did you jump in your pool?
Yeah, April 26th. That's the year we signed the house. That's the year we first jumped in the pool, and that's the day, and that every year. And we made the kids do it too.
You know what's funny?
If you're in this house on the 26th, you have to be in that pool.
Hey, if I'm ever in your house on the 26th, I'm jumping in your pool.
Right, and you'll probably jump right back out because it's still at 70.
Oh.
Way too cold.
But I was, ironically enough, I was like, I know you posted a video of a tour of your house. I was like, I haven't watched that in a while because I haven't been able to visit you yet. And I was like, I've been trying to find the video, and I had a hard time finding it on your feed. But ironically enough, Holly reposted it yesterday, or the day before yesterday. And I was like, "Ooh, this is what I was looking for." And I watched it again.
I keep wanting to go back and recreate that walkthrough, but with everything that's been done since then.
You should do it.
I should. I just keep, you
should do it.
Clean up.
Yeah. I should give you. Did I give you a video tour of this house? I did before we did stuff to it, right?
I don't remember.
I think I did. And I'll probably just wait till you guys come out here, to be honest.
We're going to be there soon. You know it.
I know it. All right,
so
we're good. Let's go ahead and end the show. Do you have any words of wisdom? Oh, no, I got to do the... Listen, I got my second shot today, or yesterday, and it's hot, and I'm just... Oof.
All right, let's burn it then.
Let's do it. All right, this is our Oscar wrap-up. Next week, we're actually going to be back on track as far as our movie challenges, where we're going to review Race with the Devil. We're going to be reviewing that one. We're back on track. That was my challenge to Scott, so I'll be expecting a challenge from you next week.
Yep.
So you can go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com, which, by the way, somebody messaged me on Facebook, and excuse me, it must be a legit. Because I just figured it was, you know, whenever you see like a profile and so that's a stolen profile. No, it's legit. She's like, hey, what's up with your website? It's not working. And I'm like, oh, sorry. I'm working on it. I'm sorry. But go to our site, Moviesucktastic.com. Go to Facebook, facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. Go to iTunes, and you can download and listen to the show there as well. If you want to leave us voicemail, it's 908-514-4470. If you want to leave us email, it's themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. And you can get the Android app for your device by going to our website, Moviesucktastic.com/mst.apk. Download it, install it, enjoy it. And that's pretty much it. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson? No words of wisdom? No? Just, I feel this look burning into my brain.
What'd I do?
Can you hear me at all? Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, do you have any words of wisdom? Okay, on that note, we'll end the show. I don't know if you're joking right now. Alright, I'm gonna kill this. You can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
Damn it. Do you have any words of wisdom? There's no music.
I can't hear you.
Because you're making this look like you're looking. It's like, no, I have no words of wisdom. Like, your face was the end of the show. But I guess that's not it.
My face is always the end of the show, Joey. You know that.
Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
Yes, I am the end of the show.
There you go. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.